Hello, humanities students. We are going to be searching for a book for our passion project today. So, when you're in the library, I want you to be fully equipped with all the information that you need. We have completed step one, which was the topic brainstorm. So, you took three different ideas and outlined them and thought through them and looked at possible books that you might read for each one of the topics. So, now it's time for you to narrow down. I would suggest that you go and find a couple people and pitch your ideas to the couple of people while you're in the library and see what they think about your topics and your products and your research question. And that way you'll have a better idea of what might work. Hopefully, you're already settling on one. And if you've already settled on one and you know you're going to do it, then you need to move on to step two. Step two is choosing your book, reading it, and doing your dialectical journal. So, the purpose of this assignment is to read about someone who does what you like to do, has the same interest as you, and or has made an impact on our world. And it needs to be a positive impact on our world. So if you're going to ask me about, for example, Joseph Stalin or Adolf Hitler or somebody like that, I'm going to go ahead and say no for that because we'd like for the impact to be positive. Your options. You are reading a biography, an autobiography, memoir, or narrative nonfiction. So you want this person again to be somebody who does what you do, does your passion. So, for example, if somebody was really into history and specifically the American Revolution, like Miss Winger, she might read John Adams' biography. If somebody was very interested in changing the world or women's education or women's rights in the Middle East, you might choose Malala's memoir. If you're really into writing or even filmmaking, Stephen King might be an option to read. If you were really into a sport, so centered around sports, a really great narrative nonfiction is The Boys in the Boat, which is about an Olympic winning crew team. So these are just examples. Of course, you wouldn't pick from these four. You're going to pick something that's tailored to your interests, your passions, and your topic. When I was going through topic brainstorming, I noticed that some of you have books that are not meeting the criteria. On that particular page, it was number 2, which outlined the criteria of the book. So I'm going to remind you that there aren't informational texts or how-to texts. That's not the option here. That's not the assignment. That's not the purpose of the assignment. An informational text that is based on a subject and not a person is not an option either. So you're not reading, if you're going to do computer coding, you're not going to read how to computer code. You would need to pick somebody like Steve Jobs or maybe Bill Gates or Steve Wozniak, somebody like that who is in the computer world. You may not read a fictional book, even if it's a passion of yours. This book is your thing, Harry Potter, whatever. If you're dying to do a Harry Potter thing, then you need to read J.K. Rowling's biography or memoir. So we are going to be doing lessons on it and the dialectical journal, and we are trying to kind of learn from these people. So it's important that you choose the right book and that you understand the assignment. The requirements of the book is it needs to be age appropriate, reading level appropriate, which means that you can't use, Meet Albert Einstein, which was a first grade book, or you cannot. Another example is the Who Was series, and Stephen Hawking's book is next to this, but you can't read that because it's like a third grade level. So they were great in elementary school, but now it's time to put your big boy pants on and your big girl pants on and read something a little more sophisticated than that. It needs to be written within the last 50 years. And it also has to have at least 150 pages in it. So if it's a little bit shorter, you just need to come in and check with me. Sometimes that has to do with reading level, and it's really an advanced reading level. And so like 102 pages would be just fine. An example of that is Elie Wiesel's Night. It is only, I think, 107 pages, but it's intense. And so I would be okay with that kind of book. We are going to read Night, FYI. So if anybody's doing that or thinking about doing that, then I'm probably going to steer you towards Diary of Anne Frank. So next, we need to remember, that's it. Next, you're going to go to your Passion Project book assignment. And the first thing that you're going to want to do for your first thing that you're going to want to do is once you've settled on a book, then you're going to check in with your parents. You're going to click here and you're going to fill out the Google form. And the Google form is asking you to make a rationale for you being able to read this book. So I'm going to be looking for, is it all the age appropriate, written within the last 150 years, all of that stuff. Your parents are looking at it in terms of your family values. So if it doesn't match your family values, then they may say no. And so you got to go back to the drawing board. So your parents have a place to write type their name in the blank. And so then I'm going to be going through these. And I'd like to have them by next Wednesday so that I can go through them and you can be well on your way to getting your dialectical journal completed. After you pick your book and you fill out your form, then you're going to come down here and read the directions to your Passion Project book dialectical journal. The first thing that you're going to want to do is read this. Divide your book into 10 sections. And your goal is to get a dialectical journal entry out of each section. So if I've got a 200-page book and I'm going to divide it into 10 sections, and I would have a dialectical journal entry for about every 20 pages. It has an example here. You want to click here to make a copy of the template, put it in your Passion Project folder. And usually what I do is I read along and I use sticky notes. And so when I want something that I want to make a dialectical journal entry out of, I put it on the sticky note, and then I do my final draft of my dialectical journal at the very end, because it's too cumbersome to keep doing it over and over, opening it up and doing all that. So I read first, and then I go back and do my dialectical journal. You can do it however you want. Again, you do you, but it is due Friday, December 10th. So you want to make sure that that you're getting this done. You'll notice that your homework is going to kind of thin out here to give you time to work on this assignment. The dialectical journal is a little different than what you did with your Revolutionary War book clubs because you aren't reading for necessarily literary devices. You are reading so that you can understand how this person did what he did or did what she did. So you're looking for character developing events, advice they might give you based on an event that happened in their life, how their achievement and successes affected them, and how their mistakes affected them. And then you may find that you find a new possible area for research that you really want to do from your book. So these are the codes right here. And these are the codes you're going to be using. And these are the guiding questions that you're going to be using to write your commentary. So the one thing is that you have to have, to show a variety of codes, you have to have at least 3 different types. And then from there, you need at least one research question idea that comes out of this. So once you make your copy, it'll start off looking like this. Of course, you will deal with your heading and your header and the title of the book. Please put the author as well and the number of pages in the book. And then you will be putting your textual evidence over here. You'll be putting your code right here, and then your commentary. So again, you're using your guiding questions to write 2 to 3 sentences of commentary. Notice how this says 1 to 2 lines from your book. It does not say paragraphs. So some people get overexcited and zealous, and they put way too much in those boxes. 1 to 2 lines. That doesn't even say 1 to 2. That doesn't even say sentences. It says lines. So make sure that you don't overdo this. Okay. So when I get back, I'll answer any questions. This should give you a good start on your assignment. Just make sure that once you settle on your topic and your book, that you check in with your parents, because that's really, really important. They are my partner in helping you be the best student that you can be. So have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and I will see you when I get back.